5 minutes before 6, a woman in Texas says she's found the legendary Chupacabra and has the evidence to prove it. Jackie Stock says her husband caught the mysterious creature Sunday night. There he is. He has a hairless back, large claws and teeth.
Have you ever heard of the Chupacabra? Half beast, half myth. The creature that haunted farms, drained livestock of blood, and left behind nothing but questions. Some say it's real, others call it a legend. But the fear? That's always been real. In this video, we dive deep into the dark theories and real-life encounters behind this creature. So, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Let's dive in. The first encounter. It started on a regular August day in 1995. Nothing seemed strange, just a mother and daughter unpacking in a new neighborhood in Canovanas, Puerto Rico. But then, everything changed. Madeline Tolentino looked outside and saw something that didn't belong, something that made her freeze. It stood there, out in the open, not human, not animal, but something in between. About 4 feet tall, upright like a child, but stiff. Too stiff. Its arms didn't swing. They stayed back, tense and poised like it was always ready to attack. The fingers, long, sharp, clawed, only 3 on each hand. Its limbs stretched too far, like someone had pulled a human body apart and stitched it wrong. But what haunted her most were the eyes. Enormous, almond-shaped, black as night. No whites, no pupils, just 2 bottomless pits that seemed to stare right through her soul. They weren't eyes meant for Earth, and when she crouched to get a better look, she realized something even more disturbing. No visible genitals, no sign of anything natural. It looked sealed, artificial, like something designed in a lab, not born. And then came the smell, an acid sting in the air, like melted batteries or toxic spray. She gagged, overwhelmed. Later, that same stench would return while driving with her child. The moment it hit, both started coughing, choking. It was unforgettable. This thing, whatever it was, left more than a visual. It marked the senses, carved itself into memory. Madeline wasn't just scared, she was changed. The bloodless killings. People could have brushed it off, called her crazy, a woman spooked by shadows. But soon, something began happening, something you couldn't ignore. All across Puerto Rico, animals began to die, but not like animals usually do. These weren't messy kills, not the work of wild dogs or hungry predators. They were clean. Too clean. 8 sheep were found dead, no blood, no torn flesh, just 3 perfectly round holes in their chests, like something had drilled into them and drained them dry. Chickens, goats, rabbits, cats, dogs, even cows fell victim. Always the same, puncture wounds, no blood, no signs of struggle. Their bodies looked untouched, as if death had just passed through them silently. Veterinarians were baffled. These weren't random attacks. They looked precise, intentional. And by the end of the year, over 150 animals had been discovered like this. The people of Puerto Rico panicked. They locked their doors, lit candles, and kept their children close. The fear spread faster than the legend. And that's when the name was born, El Chupacabra, the goat sucker. But the horror didn't stay on the island. Soon, similar deaths began to appear in Mexico, then Central America, and even parts of the southern United States. Texas, Arizona, Florida, always the same signs. Puncture wounds, bloodless corpses, no signs of natural causes. Wherever it went, the Chupacabra didn't just kill animals. It infected minds. People began seeing it in their dreams. Some swore they spotted it lurking at night. The legend had become something real, something alive. The Hollywood connection. As more and more people came forward, describing the same creature, gray skin, black eyes, spines down the back, researchers began to dig, and that's when something strange came up. A man named Benjamin Radford started looking into Madeline Tolentino's story more closely, and he noticed something odd. Just a few weeks before her terrifying encounter, she had watched a movie. Not just any movie, a sci-fi horror film called Species. And in that movie was a creature, a hybrid, alien and human. And it looked almost exactly like what she described. Same eyes, same skin, same spines, same nightmare. When Radford spoke with her, the similarities were undeniable. Even she admitted the movie had shaken her. Could it be that her mind had created the Chupacabra based on something she saw on screen? That possibility changed everything. What if this wasn't a monster, but a mass hallucination? A shared fear that spread through rumor and panic. But even if her sighting was influenced by fiction, how do you explain the dead animals, the corpses with no blood? That wasn't imagination. That was real. And the more the media repeated the story, the more people saw it. A loop was created, the creature was born, and it refused to die. The truth behind the terror. Eventually, scientists stepped in. They weren't there to scare, they were there to explain. But what they found wasn't comforting. It was ugly, painful, and very real. Most reported sightings turned out to be sick animals, dogs, foxes, and mostly coyotes, suffering from a brutal condition called sarcoptic mange. Tiny mites infect the skin, causing animals to scratch until their fur falls out, their skin cracks, and their flesh becomes raw and inflamed. They become unrecognizable, alien-like. Their eyes sink, their backs hunch, their limbs twist. They don't look like coyotes anymore, they look like monsters. And what's worse, mange weakens them. Starving and slow, they can't hunt wild prey. So they go after livestock, goats, chickens, sheep, easy targets. And the bites they leave behind? Usually near the neck, precise, deadly. Sometimes blood pools in the back of the body after death, making it look like the creature was drained. Science had an answer, but even that answer was terrifying. Not a myth, not a beast, but nature is at its cruelest. In Texas, a rancher once swore she found the Chupacabra. The body was frozen, hairless, and strange-looking, but when DNA tests came back, it was just a coyote. But even with science on the table, the fear never truly left, because deep down, people didn't want it to. There's something hauntingly seductive about the unexplained, about believing there's something out there, lurking, waiting, choosing its next victim. And for the farmers who buried lifeless animals with no blood in their veins, for the families who locked their doors tighter each night, no textbook explanation could erase what they felt. Science gave us facts, but fear doesn't run on facts. It runs on emotion, the paranormal dimension. Still, not everyone was satisfied. Some things couldn't be explained by chance. Some stories were too strange, too specific, and so the theories turned darker. Stranger. One claimed that the Chupacabra was a failed experiment, a weapon. Maybe something bred in a government lab escaped. Puerto Rico had long been used for military testing. Could it have been ground zero for something the public was never meant to see? Others pointed to something more cosmic. Aliens. Interdimensional visitors. People claimed to see lights in the sky before their animals died. Strange orbs, silent crafts. And then the creature would appear. Move like a ghost, vanish without a trace. Some swore it could teleport. Others said it left strange marks in the dirt, like something not of this world had passed through. It was no longer just an animal story. It was something else entirely. A creature from the shadows, a visitor from another realm, not hunting for food, but for something else. These theories may sound wild, but they live on because people felt the fear. They saw something, they lost something, and no scientific explanation can erase that kind of memory. The Chupacabra may be dismissed by researchers, but in the minds of those who lived through those nights, who heard the cries of dying animals, who smelled that burning chemical air, it's as real as the blood that was never found. So, what do you believe? Was the Chupacabra just a sick dog with a terrifying look, or something more? A creature born from fear, given life by belief, and fueled by the unknown? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another dive into the mysteries that hide in the dark. Thanks for watching. And remember, just because you haven't seen it, doesn't mean it's not watching you.